They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
He is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIB in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out.
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think I'm Mike Grable the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace. You should know I bleed war. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip, I let it out to explore. They say the ops on the way. I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside a building, my EMP gon' deploy. Make a panic, play support. Crypto going manic, they tryna figure out how I do assault damage. Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high grounds to get a overstanding. Now you from a distance, see your partners, they done left you stranded. Damn, you know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight, I admit it was easy. Get you some practice or you always die. I know you doing that ping thing, they gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield, it's been 7 minutes in the fucking game, I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, hear it wind up, quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm focused. See, GOAT just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghosts is ghosts, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done. They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
He is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIB in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out the mud.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Yo, KT2 the GOAT, Big Jeff, Kellen, Sean Smith, Kicks Wheel, B Walker, what it do player, D'Angelo, Money, Mamba, Jags in the building, Q. Alright, man, y'all see it. I really wish that y'all would help me come up with a better name than Mailbag. I think we could have a cooler name than just Mailbag, but for the time being, we'll take it. Zamarant Bill, what up? I mean, it's kind of generic, but I mean, you get the picture, right? If you're watching on Facebook, like, comment, share, tap into the daily content. If you're watching on Kick, no ads, up to 50 emotes, free, picture in picture. Definitely should be watching there if you're not subbed anywhere else. If you're watching on Twitch, Amazon Prime, you can sub to the channel free once a month. If you do not use it on me, use it on another content creator. Don't let it go to waste. And if you're watching on YouTube, every morning, 8 a.m., a new podcast uploads. So if you missed the shop talk, you can always double back. And then on Facebook now, I got this picture. And I'll post this picture every now and then. And we'll take mailbag questions and I'll answer it. I don't duck any questions. Y'all know I always answer questions and I stand on business. And if you disagree with my answers, the shop is open. We can do that too. Keith said, yo, why you crying, Keith? Tone, what's good, my boy? Why does Keith got tears in his eyes? undefeated bag. I need something with a good ring to it if we're gonna change it from mailbag. It's got to have a better ring to it than that. It's got to be creative. We can't just throw something out there. But you know, rich black man kind of feeling himself. He feel like he asked the best question so far. Which, not gonna lie, Rich definitely asked one of the better questions that I've gotten.
Let me teach
since
you
I
how to
posted
vibe.
this. So let's see if we can't get them on the screen. All right, here we go. Let's see. That's not the way I wanted it to look, but we'll take this. Let's see if I can't zoom in for y'all. Boom, there you go. Maybe this is pretty cool, right? What's the one move? All right, so we got to make sure we're doing this correctly. We got to make sure we're doing this correctly because this is how it's going to go up. So if y'all ask questions, I will answer them in video form and post them as the podcast, right? And I'll try to make sure I go to this screen so like whatever you're asking is on the screen and your name or whatever is up there, you know. But that's on the Facebook page. This actual photo with the mailbag. All right, let's get into it. All right, rich black man asked, "What's the one move the Titans can't afford to mess up this offseason? Nailing the draft pick, making a big splash in free agency, or hiring the right head coach and OC?" I'm going to say it's the third piece, right? And we're going to reverse engineer this. They made big splashes in free agency in the last cycle. L'Jarius Sneed, Chidobe Awuzie, Lloyd Cushenberry, even Dan Moore, Calvin Ridley. Some of the bigger guys that they spent money on in this last cycle. Some have produced, some haven't. The jury's still out on some of the others, but I don't think, even though they got the most cap space in free agency, I don't think the free agent splash is going to dictate the long-term success of the Tennessee Titans because their MO, from what Bergonzi and Brinker have said, is supplement in free agency, build in the draft, right? So we're going to reverse engineer that. So it's definitely not making a big splash in free agency. Nailing the draft pick. Last year's draft pick, I feel like he's batting 1,000. John Robinson had 2 horrible draft classes in 20 and 21. The jury is out on Rand's draft classes. Some home runs, some strikeout and a miss. So even if the Titans get the first round, the number 1 overall pick and trade back, or they fall somewhere in the top 5 and they get an elite player, what they draft in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in their day 2 and early day 3 is more important than just nailing the number 1 overall draft pick, because you make your hay in those middle rounds. That's what you want to have, those draft successes. So I'm not gonna go there, but I'd put that above free agency. So free agency is third, nailing the draft picks is second. Number 1 is you got to hire the right head coach and the right offensive coordinator. Brian Callahan may well have been a good coach, but him hiring his coaching staff of first-time coordinators, being in that position, and him being a first-time play calling head coach, set the Tennessee Titans backwards. So I'm going to say the head coach and offensive coordinator is the most important, because yes, Sunday against the Browns was the first time you could say this season the Tennessee Titans had a better game plan than the team they played against. It's the first time the Tennessee Titans ran for more rushing yards than their opponent, not having Cam Ward drop back 40 to 50 times. He dropped back probably 10 times less than what he normally does, and he was more efficient. The ball came out faster. There were no sack fumbles. They was able to protect him. Myles Garrett only got 1 sack. That's attitude. That's coaching. That's culture. Backup center Corey Levin comes in. Dan Moore and J.C. Latham, Kevin Zeitler under heavy scrutiny. And, Tony Pollard has his best day running, and the Tennessee Titans win the war up front against the Browns, which nobody expected. Everybody expected the Browns to win the war up front. So I think whether you bring in a big free agents, I think the right head coach and offensive coordinator is going to have a lot to do with free agents wanting to come here. The draft pick, I think you're going to have the right coach to put the right scheme to find ways to get draft picks on the field. Even though we had a really good draft class this year, the coaching staff has not found a way to get Gunnar Helm the ball more. He'll break the rookie record for Tennessee Titans rookie tight ends Sunday against the 49ers if he plays, if he's not injured. Look how long it took to get Marcus Harris on the field. Look how long it took to get Kevin Winston Jr. on the field. We know Femi's out. Femi's hurt. You see the turnaround and the difference in Cam Ward's play second half of the season since the bye week when it comes to ball security and just overall processing of the game. And, for Jim DK, it took them almost 2 months to realize how good he was to get him the ball. And then Aomana, they finally found ways to get him the ball in the red zone. Him being a red zone threat kind of is his specialty. You're going to need the right coaching staff, regardless of if you pick 10 draft picks and they're all studs. You're going to need the right coaching staff to be able to get them on the field and get the best usage out of those players. So to this question, this was a great question. And my answer is hiring the right head coach and OC is number 1. Nailing the draft picks is number 2. And free agency is number 3. So shout out to Rich Black Man with a really good question. First question ever in the mailbag asked by Richard, the responsible black man. All right, we got one more question in the mailbag that we're going to go to. And another legend in the shop. Another legend in the shop. Becker. Let me say it better. Becker. Avid Arizona Cardinal fan. Gifted the Tennessee Titans their first win of the season. But Becker asked, who are your top head coach candidates you want to see Mike Bergonzi reach out to this offseason? Will it be more of an emphasis to get an offensive-minded head coach to mentor Cam, or simply getting the best head coach Bergonzi thinks will fit in Tennessee? That is a really good question. That is a really great question. My honest answer is I think it's the best head coach more so than having an emphasis on offensive minded. I think you got to bring in your Robert Salas, your Brian Flores's, your Mike McCarthy's. You got to bring in your leader type guys, and also bring in your offensive minded guys, your Joe Brady's, your Kubiak's. Bring them in and see what's every different head coach candidate's plan that they would roll out for their staff. Will Bones Fossil stay? Does Denard Wilson have a future in Nashville? I think you gotta let him run all of those down, and you can't do like last time. A guy comes in the building and you say that's my guy and cut the process short. You got to go all the way through the process. You don't want to have buyer's remorse. And I can't fathom that somebody sat and watched Brian Callahan roll out a plan with first-time coordinators at every level, and somebody signed off on that. I got to say, you can't run away from an offensive-minded head coach because Callahan didn't work. I think Callahan more so didn't work because you had a lot of first-time guys with him, not a lot of experience, especially to the point of when you stripped him of play calling and you did actually give him the axe, him and Bill Callahan. You skipped over Nick Holtz, the offensive coordinator, to let Bo Hardigree call plays, the QB coach. So I think in situations like that, you want to have more experienced guys coming in the staff with a guy, unless the head coach himself is a Mike McCarthy, somebody who's won a Super Bowl of that level, that's saying, hey, I want some new, fresh, young guys with some new philosophies coming in with me. It can't just be about Cam. It's got to be about the 53. Because Cam, the type of quarterback that he is he's a hard worker, and he's a guy that's all about football. So I think he's one in the locker room you don't got to worry about. But you do got to worry about the other 52. You know, they trying to force the guy to smile about getting the win. He's focused on playing better. He don't really care about, getting ugly wins, even though they're hard to come by in the NFL. And sometimes that's how you got to take them. But that's a really good question. I think they should not do like last time and cut the interview process short. I think you got to interview everybody. You got to see everybody's plan. You can't rule out an offensive-minded coach because the last one didn't work. And you can't just come in saying, hey, I want a leader, a defensive type of guy, because we all know if you go that route, you're going to be dealing with offensive coordinators turnover, which got us in this position slightly in the first place, that you had Mike Vrabel with Matt LaFleur and Dean Pease. And then Matt LaFleur is obviously the Green Bay Packers head coach. And then Arthur Smith comes in, and obviously Arthur Smith goes to Atlanta and now is the offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you can't rule out any of these guys. So if you want to interview Nagy, you want to interview Arthur Smith, if you want to interview any of these people, I think you should make a solid list of probably 4 to 5 guys that are offensive minded and 4 to 5 guys that are a leader type. Let them all bring their plan in, make a war room board, think long and hard about it, and make a decision. Because on top of this, you also got to pick somebody that wants to be here, is not looking ahead, because it's going to be a lot of options open. You've seen the college football coaching carousel that some people wind up not getting their first choices and just wind up settling. You never want to fire somebody and not have a better game plan to how you're going to replace them. Because if you go back to the board and you wind up getting your second or third choice, and this second or third choice is somebody worse than what you already have, then you're going to be setting yourself back even further. So this has to be the biggest decision that the Tennessee Titans will make regarding this franchise in the past, present, and near future. Is you bring the right coach in, you could be the Chicago Bears or the New England Patriots. You bring the wrong coach in, you could be treading water and ruin the rookie deal of Cam Ward. We all have watched how that's played out across the NFL. You got to marry somebody to Bergonzi. Let him have his guy that's got the same mentality in mind about how to build a roster, and go from there. Because even being outgunned and having less talent Sunday, you've seen what a good game plan can do for a team when you decide we're going to run the ball at Myles Garrett and we're going to screen right at him the whole game. He's never going to get a chance to just line up and just rush. You see him on Twitter and on TikTok. Sometimes he had 3 different guys blocking him on one single play, and it tires him out, and it slows his motor down. And that's what you got to do. You got to have a game plan coming into each week, and this is going to be an important week. Moving on from the second question, is my topic today is, can the Tennessee Titans stack another game behind a win? They haven't been able to do that in years. And that's why I'm happy that Cam Ward seemed upset after the game. I know a lot of people thought it had to do with his performance being measured against Shador. I don't think it's that. I think he knows the media only cares about wins. And this next week against the 49ers, if he comes out and plays bad against the 49ers, this narrative only grows. He has to come out, be effective, make quick decisions, get them in the right protections, call the right run fits, and orchestrate the offense, and put back-to-back games together and stack games, because nobody expects the Titans to beat the 49ers. If you play the 49ers and the Titans play a good game and they lose and it's competitive like the Seahawks game, then you start to silence the critics and silence the doubters that they're trending in the right direction because they did this a couple times before in this season, and then the rug comes from up under them, and you're saying, it's this game against the 49ers is really a better indication of who the Tennessee Titans are. Are they satisfied with one win where they could have played better and could have closed the game out differently? Or are they going to take that momentum and after scoring a touchdown on the first drive all season in the last game, are they going to get a good special teams play out the gate to get the ball at the 40? Are they going to move the football and score right out of the gate and play complementary football on offense, defense, and special teams and put it together 2 weeks in a row? So it really doesn't matter whether they win or lose this game Sunday. Of course, I want them to win. But can they stack back-to-back performances where they play on all three phases, where they're not beating themselves and having 10, 15 penalties and getting in fights and things like that, running into punters when it's fourth down and 20? That's more what we want to see.
Let me teach you how to
Let me get caught up on the chat because I had to go through that. It's something new that we doing, the mailbag. I thought that's cool. I think Big Jeff said he may have put another question in here. Let me look before we move on. Oh my goodness. All right. That's a deep question, Jeff. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get caught up with everybody and I'm gonna go back to that. All right, let's see who's in the chat.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
I'm glad we starting Kenny Pickett, Lord, Vincent Rivers, the God, Nile, Lock Kick, number one shoe plug in the city, Eddie Manning, Lil D, number one pack smoker in all the lands, Morant, Becker, Nano, Zay, Kicks Wheel. He say, what's the app for that? That's just Facebook. That's just my Facebook page. So if you go find this picture right here, boom,
let me teach
on my
you
Facebook
how to vibe.
page, that is what I got up. So let me. All right, so that's gonna be the last question for the mailbag, and then the next in between the next stream, if somebody else has got a question, I'll add that into after I go through the stuff that I want to do. Then I'll always go back in and go over the mailbag question. Let's see. All right, so Jeff has a non-football question, but it's a life question. And in the shop, we are Renaissance men. We are multifaceted, so we can do more than one thing. You feel me? All right, so Big Jeff says, not sports related, but just life related. Looking back to where you are at now in life, if you had a message to your younger self, what would your words be? What would you tell yourself about how to navigate all your trials and tribulations? How would you tell them that it's not going to be easy, but you're going to be okay? Okay, that's a deep question. Funny story is I was having a conversation with a coach, a local coach, is a high school coach, about his connection to some of the guys that just recently got hired in the SEC. I ain't gonna name them because I don't want to put people's business out there, but he was saying how his son almost missed getting signed to Coach Sumrall because he's living with his mother instead of him, and because he could do more of what he wanted to do and could be his own man. And, can't nobody tell me nothing. I think what I would go back and tell myself is like being rebellious and being against the grain type of person is you, but don't make it hard on yourself. You had a lot of good people in your life that offer good advice. I'm not a person that grew up around I had a lot of bad influences around, but I'll say I had enough good people around that pushed me in the right direction to where I would tell my younger self, listen more. You don't know everything. Some of these people ain't just trying to push their ways on you. They really want what's best for you. Work hard, put your best effort. Don't half-ass the things that you do in life, because hard work beats talent most often. And you can be fooled by your talent getting you so far and giving you different opportunities. But that's just you ruining your blessing. You know, I would tell my younger self, you know, like, to find your spiritual base and stick with it. I would say stay tight with your family. I would say less friends, more family. It's a lot of things I tell myself, and I would definitely tell my younger self to focus more on the opportunities that you have and appreciate them. Don't take them for granted, because you'll never know when, if ever you'll get those same opportunities again. But I would tell myself, like, you're gonna be good, bro. You, like, like, if it don't kill you, it's gonna make you stronger on that
Let me
end.
teach you how to vibe.
But that's definitely what I would tell my younger self, and that's what I tell my kids, man. Like give your best effort. Don't let anybody else affect the decisions you make. Make your own decisions. Be your own person. Everybody ain't coming with you. Everybody that's there now ain't gonna be there when it comes in the end. It's all about you, and you putting your best foot forward and your best effort forward, and going 1,000% towards anything that you're passionate about. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't play around with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and put all your energy and your effort into it. Put your heart into it. That's what I would tell my younger self, Big Jeff. All right, boom. We done with the mailbag for the day. Dre, what up? Phillip Rivers for MVP. Kicks wheels, like, cool. Okay, I got y'all. I think I'm caught up in the chat. Bad take sheet, gas man in the building. Appreciate everybody who did who added to the mailbag. You know, that's something new to the content. I'm trying to find new ways to do different stuff. If somebody thinks of a cool name other than just mailbag, you know, like, we'll come up with it. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is definitely a cool thing. And y'all know I upload YouTube videos of Shop Talk every morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard on YouTube. Make sure y'all commenting and liking those YouTube videos, because when it first dropped, when y'all commenting on it the first day or the first few hours, that's how it gets pushed in the algorithm, and that's how we go up. So I'm gonna try to stay consistent. So if you missed the live streams, you can always catch the Shop Talk on YouTube. I'll try to break them down in the shorts, and then if you overall miss, I'll be able to go in and do these mailbags and post them as shorts or whole videos or part of the whole Shop Talk. However it worked. 8 a.m. I pre-post them. So, like, they gonna go, like, I do it before I go to sleep. So, like, when I wake up, it's gonna post at 8 a.m. I have no control. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna go. All right. She say you just dropped one. Cause see, I like to have them, cause I can go ahead and save them, and then just pull up on them. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a pretty cool addition. Because I can kind of put it out the way I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to. Like, I can go back and chop these into it where it's just a question and just the answer on the screen. All right, let's see. He said on Larry Hoover, I don't do no gang stuff. Shotbybuddha don't do no gang stuff. I don't believe in no gang stuff at all. But I know you just trolling. You just joking. I know, gas man. I don't on the set, cuz, like, nah, I don't fool around with that. I let them have that. They got that. Bro, what is up with that? Is that okay? I'm trying to get this thing into a full screen. Bro, what is I don't know what's going on with this thing. All right, let me get Sheed's question on the screen. Let me get Sheed's question on the screen because we doing something new, so I do want to make sure if we doing something new that I take the time to answer y'all questions because y'all don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not one of them content creators that like feel above. I want to get to every question. And some of y'all stuff I might say have a blessed day because they just on some other stuff. But if you legitimately want to have a conversation and talk, I'm all for it. It's not good. It's a time to it get hot, get cold, get hot, get cold. Everybody like that. Laughing on Warzone. I got you. No. She. Never apologize. I appreciate you asking the question. That's why I say I want to make sure I get to him because if I ain't gonna have you do this and then not answer the question. And I ain't like, you know what I'm saying? All right. Next question from Mr. Bad Take. She tighten up. He said, rewind back this to the 2022 draft. What changes or moves would you make? And would you change each year in order to build on the run after going 12-5 forward to 2025? Now, let me see if I can answer this question correctly because I think I know what you was trying to say, but I just want to make sure that I want to make sure that I say this correctly because you're speaking about the year after the Titans went number 1 in the AFC, lost to the Bengals. You talking about that? Are you talking about that, Sheed? Because I'm gonna go back and reread your question, but I want to make sure that your question is like the right question because the way you wrote it, it sounds a little off. But I know you at work, so I'm trying to make sure I got it. So when I post it, that I can read it and not make it sound crazy. He said yes. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna restart it that way it sounds right. All right. Rashid Jenkins, aka Mr. Bad Take, Mr. 52, tighten up, says rewind back to 2022 NFL draft. What changes or move would you have made in order to build on the run after going 12-5, losing to the Cincinnati Bengals at home in the divisional to Joe Burrow and the infamous Ryan Tannehill game? For those that aren't familiar, that is the year that the next season the Tennessee Titans could not reach an agreement with A.J. Brown. They traded him draft night. Mike Vrabel got up, flipped the tables over. Traylon Burks was drafted in the first round that year. We got the picks for him and Malik Willis. Roger McCreary, who is now on the Rams. We traded for a 6th round pick this year, was our 2nd round pick out of Auburn. NPF, who is involved in some gambling things similar to Calvin Ridley, who wind up being inconsistent out of Ohio State. And then we had Hassan Haskins, who we let go, who is on the Chargers as their 3rd down, short yardage and special teams back. Chig Okonkwo, who obviously is probably the best player from this class. Best last pick in the 4th round, tight end, has led the Tennessee Titans in catches, yards after catch pretty much since he's been in Nashville, is our current leader now. Kyle Phillips, a special teamer, slot receiver who had trouble muffing kicks. He was good in the slot as a receiver, but not a fast, twitchy guy. Just a guy that knew how to run routes and get open, but his special teams failures wound up leading to him being on the Eagles practice squad when they won the Super Bowl. Theo Jackson is a contributor on the Vikings roster, and Chance Campbell, a really good linebacker, but could never stay healthy. To me, he was like a young version of what Cody Barton is now, like a good rangy, athletic linebacker. But pretty much you would say this entire class is pretty much washed now that we've traded Roger. and contingent upon whether they re-sign Chig Okonkwo or extend him at the end of this season, will tell you about the 22 draft class. Obviously, they cut Julio Jones in order to save money to try to re-sign A.J. Brown. I think you would have had to find some kind of way to go in the office and say, A.J. Brown is not leaving. Jeffrey Simmons is going to be under contract. We still have Derrick Henry. We're going to go in with Ryan Tannehill and have a conversation about, can we restructure or move his contract around to be able to keep that core nucleus of A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, Jeffrey Simmons, with Ryan Tannehill at QB. If that's the case, when you go back into that draft class, completely different. You have a whole different outlook on what you want to do with that draft. Obviously, that draft was not one of the better drafts that we've had, and ultimately was the reason that John Robinson was let go because of that draft class. I mean, that wind up being a Ryan Tannehill high ankle sprain that he never recovered from. That wind up being a team that was at the top of the AFC South that went on a losing streak and missed the playoffs with Josh Dobbs at QB. The fumble is it not fumble play. A.J. Brown went on to play in 2 Super Bowls and to win one and to have more receiving yards than our entire receiving core that next year in Philadelphia, and he broke records. Roger McCreary obviously traded to the Rams for a 6th-round pick. NPF gone. That draft class is pretty much a waste, and it marked the end of that window, and it led to Mike Vrabel wanting more control in the front office to control the roster, even though he had some hand in some of those players picked in free agency and the draft. But ultimately, that led to Mike Vrabel walking out, being fired, whatever you want to call it, and him being on the Browns, now on to the New England Patriots, in the spin cycle of Rand to Brian Callahan to now Mike Bergonzi getting to pick his coach. So if you had to do it again, you got to go into that year saying there's no way that A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Jeffrey Simmons, like between those 3 guys, everybody else can go, but them 3 guys is going to be Titans. Because you look at A.J. Brown's contract right now, the original contract he signed with the Eagles was 4 years, $100 million, with $76 million guaranteed. You just gave $76 million to L'Jarius Sneed. You just gave $82 million to Dan Moore. You know, you look at some of the contracts, you got, Calvin Ridley's due $28 million next year. You just put in your head that there's no way that those 3 guys left. And where would the trajectory of the Tennessee Titans be if we talking about those guys still being here in Nashville? But hindsight's 2020. Had to definitely focus and learn from that decision, learn from that mistake, that the next head coach that you bring in, you have to tie them to Bergonzi. They have to have the same vision, and you have to go into this draft class and not strike out like that. You got to have a draft class like Bergonzi just had with Cam Ward, Femi Oladejo, trading back and picking him and getting the draft pick that you got to get Kevin Winston. There's no Kevin Winston if you don't trade back in the second. If you take Luther Burden and you don't trade back and get Femi, you don't get Kevin Winston. So you have to do things like that. You have to get Tim Ray DK, NFL's all-purpose yards leader right now. Gunnar Helm, tight end 1, who's going to break the Tennessee Titans rookie tight end record against the 49ers Sunday. Alec Aomana is at the top of the list of wide receiver rookies this year with 3 touchdown catches and around about 400 yards, being a big physical outside target. Thinking about Jackson Slater, a center / guard for the future, with Lloyd Cushenberry being in question with Corey Levin playing center right now, and with Zietler's contract being up next year, will Jackson Slater play right guard? And then your next pick was Marcus Harris, who had the hit stick fumble against Dylan Sampson, who right now is our best corner. And I told y'all that like almost 2 months ago. I said Marcus Harris is our best corner. They took him from outside, moved him to nickel, was our starting nickel. Now they moved him back outside, and he's making game-changing plays like that. Along with Khalil Mullins, we'll get to see Khalil Mullins hopefully down the stretch, who's been injured most of his rookie campaign. 6'2", 225-pound running back out of Michigan, and then the final person. Final piece to that puzzle was Restrepo finally got to get on the field and start producing. So you look at that draft class of having an undrafted free agent pan out in Restrepo, and then having that draft class, you got to be able to recreate that again this year.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
You got to make better choices in free agency. Stop looking for home run hits in free agency. No $20-30 million players. Go get you some Sebastian Joseph days. Go get you some guys like that and sign guys that are going to be contributors to the football team. Instead of trying to look for home run hits, you got to build the culture. And that's a really good question. You got to learn from your mistakes. You can't go back and change and put Derrick Henry and AJ Brown back on the team. You can't get Mike Vrabel and Matt LaFleur back in the coaching staff. But what you can do is look for that next head coach. Are you going to be a head coach that can bring in a Matt LaFleur and a Dean Pease and an Arthur Smith behind that? Are you going to be able to put a staff together like that year after year? Are you going to be able to get the most out of your players? And ultimately, you got to have the GM and the head coach be on the same page so that a top 10 wide receiver and a Hall of Fame running back don't wind up leaving up out of your organization and balling somewhere else. That's a really good question, though. Ravens, Joe. He said, I hope the Titans beat the Niners. I'm at the point I'd rather the Titans win games than tank at this point. I don't know if y'all seen my video today. If y'all get to do me a favor, if you go on my YouTube, man, 8 a.m. every morning, Shop Talk post on the YouTube, and we've been growing. We've been having more traction on our videos. We've been getting some new followers. So if y'all get a chance to go check out the YouTube, today's video was talking about why teams should value winning over tanking, seeing that it goes by strength of schedule. So you could tank and lose to a team, and they could have a worse strength of schedule, and you could lose on purpose, and they could still get the pick. So it doesn't necessarily help you to lose at this stage in the game, the way the NFL's got it set up. And I also talked about the Colts quarterback dilemma with Daniel Jones having Achilles and a broken leg. Of course, this week we did a CFP video, a Shador Cam Ward video, a rebuild video if y'all like rebuilds and mock drafts, the Richard Sherman, George Pickens. So pretty much that, and then I'll add the mailbag in. The mailbag will go up in the morning. So we definitely growing. We definitely get more consistent with the YouTube content. I'm getting better. I'm kind of finding my zone of how the content is working. Y'all will be getting a little bit more Madden content. I know people have been asking, but it's just I've been really focused on getting better at the Shop Talk, because that's what's ultimately gonna take us to 12 months. That's what's gonna get us to where we're trying to go. Is that Shop Talk? I'm about to lock in the YouTube. It's the same Shotbybuddha everywhere. If you watching on Kick, you can use up to 50 emotes. It's free to use the emotes. It's picture in picture. It's no ads. If you're watching on Twitch, you can do the Amazon Prime and sub through Twitch. It's picture in picture. Being able to use your phone and still watch and listen is a godsend, especially on YouTube too as well. You can watch and listen to YouTube, Kick, and Twitch in the background. And of course, Facebook, we have the offline content, and Twitter, I respond to every comment. I respond to everything people say. I always try to get back to it. So this just gives another added element of you need more things inside of your content. The mailbag open up a different thing on top of the Shop Talk, on top of the gameplay, on top of just me being accessible for whatever questions that y'all be having. He said, why are the Titan fans mad at Cam for not being satisfied with his performance and calling it a bad attitude? Because they don't understand what a true competitor is. It's not about outplaying Shador. And this is something I want to say too. It's so many people that's like, oh, Shador is better than Cam. Oh, Cam's better than Shador. Like, How about, like I said in the beginning, they both are good. They're both in bad situations. They both are going through coaching changes. They both are trying to navigate a rookie season, dealing with a team that's at the bottom of the NFL and has been at the bottom of the NFL for the last few years. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to go through. So people need to stop trying to pit them together and say Shedeur outplayed Cam Sunday. He did. He balled. But it's a surprise to people who don't like Shedeur and thought that, oh man, Shedeur is trash. He's a 5th round pick. He failed. He must suck. Then you go see him ball. You're like, well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's really good. Like, duh. Like, how could you watch him in college and watch his career and his trajectory and the work he put in to not think that Shedeur Sanders was good? Now you're realizing not the Titans should have picked him. The Titans pick who they wanted. They got a week with Shedeur at Senior Bowl, and they got a week with Cam Ward, and they picked Cam Ward. And Cam Ward has been everything this franchise has needed, as far as holding people accountable, making people work. After a win that they should have won a little bit more convincingly in the end, they should have closed the game out. He's not satisfied. He left plays on the field. He knew it some reads he made with the interception, the Bush falling into, they switched out of man to zone and tricked him. He had Chim DK for a touchdown. Van Jefferson dropped a touchdown. He knew he left plays on the field, and as a competitor, he know being two and whatever right now is not up to standard. He's not happy with that. He's a real winner. Some people don't understand a winning mindset. What happened last time they won and they celebrated? They got flooded the next week. He don't want to play the 49ers and get flooded. That's what fans have to understand. And fans also have to understand that like Shedeur's first game against the Ravens, he didn't play well and people dogged him out, and like they thought it was funny when he said, wait till I get some practice in. Now he's getting practice. He got to sit in and learn to be a pro. Can he stack another game like that next week? He's going to have a tough stretch. He's going to be playing the Bills, the Bengals. He got a lot of tough teams going down the stretch that's hungry and fighting. So they play the Steelers. So he has a tough stretch. The Tennessee Titans play the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Saints, who's been playing better, and then end with the Jaguars, who's going to probably be playing that game for the AFC title. And we knocked them out of the playoffs a few years ago, and they knocked us out of the playoffs a few years ago. That's a bitter rival. So you got to think about the games coming down the stretch that these guys got to stack good games, not wins, but they got to stack good games. And it's confusing to me to see the amount of people that thought Shedeur Sanders was not a good quarterback. But it's not about Shedeur and Cam. Because guess what? People said Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship and Caleb Williams and Drake May is trash. And now this year, Jaden Daniels is beat up. You got the same people saying, well, he's not fit to run around that much this year, not considering that Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson are not on the team, and he's having to run more, and he got injured because he got left in the game when he should have been out. If we being fair, of course they're going to not be as good as they was last year going to the NFC title. That was an anomaly. But Jaden Daniels is a dog. He's a franchise QB. Now Caleb Williams has a better supporting cast and a better coach, and the Bears are a playoff team. Then you see Mike Vrabel come in with Mac Daniels, and then you see what they're able to do in the free agency and the draft. And now the Patriots probably going to win their division, and it'll be a playoff team. Now the two quarterbacks that won, 3 or 4 games last season that people thought were trash, now they're saying they're better than Jaden Daniels. How about Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Drake May are all good, and they're young, and they're building, and they're learning, and they're figuring things out on the fly. So Jackson Dart, Shedeur, and Cam Ward all could be good quarterbacks. You just don't think about, is Stefanski gonna be back next year? All the 8 quarterbacks and all the turnover they've had in Cleveland, along with, Brian and Bill Callahan being fired in the first week of the season, and Brian Daboll being fired, and Jackson Dart getting put in the blue tent. So how about all 3 of those quarterbacks could be good? Just because Jackson Dart is playing good doesn't mean Shedeur sucks, and just because Shedeur is playing good doesn't mean Cam Ward sucks. Because guess what? If the game plan would have been for Cam Ward to try to throw the ball 45 times against Myles Garrett, he probably would have got killed in Cleveland. This probably was a good thing for the first time in 2 years the Tennessee Titans were able to run the football. That's what you should do with a rookie quarterback. It took them this long to figure it out. But these are things that the organizations are having to see, the coaching staffs are having to see, and that these young players are learning. So it just baffles me that people think that two things can't be true. Shedeur can outplay Cam Ward, but that doesn't mean the Titans shouldn't have picked Cam Ward. It could be in the future that some of these teams, like the Raiders, that overlook Shedeur Sanders is kicking themselves saying, man, we could have had Shedeur Sanders in the fourth, third, the second round on top of the draft class we had. That could be true because Tyler Shuck has been playing better for the Saints in the second half of the season. So it might be some teams sitting around thinking, like I told y'all last year, I think this draft class is better than the one that's coming this year. People called me crazy and said I was being naive. Now it's coming to find out Cam Ward is the Titans franchise quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, it could be the Browns franchise quarterback. Could be. Jury's still out. He still has time to play, but obviously he's the best thing in Cleveland. And he's good enough to build around. No quarterback has thrown for 350 and had 4 touchdowns in a game. He's their guy. The Giants have found their guy. Jackson Dart, to me, is a better athlete and a better QB prospect than Daniel Jones was. He got a $160 million contract from them. So I'm saying maybe these teams, the Saints have Tyler Shuck, who they've been dealing with Jake Hayner and Spencer Rattler and Derek Carr. Maybe these teams have hit. The Seahawks have Sam Darnold and Jalen Milroe learning. The Steelers have Aaron Rodgers and now Will Howard is learning. The Colts, even though they're going through a thing, we're going to get to see if Riley Leonard can play quarterback. So in these situations, maybe, just maybe, people need to stop rushing to judgment after one game this way or that way to say that this player is bad, this player is good. Consider the circumstances. Because last night I seen that Justin Herbert is one of the most sacked QBs in the league. And I seen that some of these other quarterbacks that's at the top of the league that are veterans are leading the league in turnovers and sacks. Now, for the rookies, for Shedeur and Cam Ward, you say, oh, they hold the ball too long. But when I see Justin Herbert with a broken hand getting hit 5,000 times last night, you say he's tough because he's holding the ball. So you got to make up your mind. Which one is it? Which one is it? But that's their own guilt. And they trying to use a media war to say they use Shedeur for media all offseason. Now he's went through and battled through all of that to be the starting quarterback of the Browns. It's obvious that a lot of teams passed on him that shouldn't have passed on him. The Cardinals, the Colts, now in a situation, the Raiders, all these teams that need quarterbacks now, they are sitting there scratching their head thinking, man, we could have got this guy in the fourth round, are starting to think we might have missed out on one. And that's the thing is people have to take their own bias and on prejudgment about what they think about a person and just think about the situation and the player and the opportunity, because it doesn't have to be Cam Ward is bad and Shedeur is good, or Shedeur is bad and Cam Ward is good. Like, they both could be mid, or they both could be really good, or they both could be below average. At the end of the day, like, their trajectories are not tied to each other the same way Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels are not tied to each other. Everybody's path through the NFL is different. Look at Bo Nix. Look at all the QBs that came out. It just depends. Can this organization put the right coach, the right scheme, the right players around this player for them to succeed? And if you do, then you'll get success. He said, why is FB so bad? Man, you tell me. All right, Decan Gasman says, what's the top 3 positions the Titans need to focus on in the offseason? Wide receiver, cornerback, edge. Pretty obvious. Wide receiver, because as good as Tim DK is, as good as A.L. Monter has played, the fans know, the unclouded judgment know what Restrepo is, but Van Jefferson, a good a good teammate, a good veteran to have around on the roster, a Tennessee native. Tyler Lockett walked off. Calvin Ridley will be dropped
teach you
around
how
the
to
June 1st
vibe.
cutoff, and they'll eat some of that contract. I think $10 million. You got to put some guys that like some Nico Collins, Michael Pittman Jr., Tetroa McMillan. You got to put some dunkers on the outside. Cam Ward needs guys that has a catch radius that could beat man coverage. You see when the Browns went 0-0 blitz, Cam missed a touchdown to DK, and then Van Jefferson dropped one. You need that one-on-one to be a dunker. You don't need it to be Van Jefferson. If I got somebody one-on-one man press the whole game, that outside receiver should eat, and they should have a field day. Like, you're not gonna zero blitz the Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They're gonna eat you alive. So that's what the Tennessee Titans need. In that cornerback, you seen Marcus Harris, a rookie, who was not even a starter, barely on special teams to start the season. He's now our best cornerback. They took him from nickel to outside. He made one of the game-changing plays, forcing a fumble Sunday. Darrell Baker Jr., good guy, plays hard. Probably our best outside corner right now. Was the sixth string when the season started. You talking about L'Jarius Sneed having an indictment for alleged drive-by shooting. Talk about Jarvis Brownlee being traded to the Jets. Roger McCreary being traded to the Rams. So when the Titans are down to number 5, 6, Armar Davis is 7. He's hurt. He's out for the season. And then Micah Robinson and Kairi Lom and Womack got cut and waived, and Cheetah Bay got cut, and he's on the Ravens. So you think about the Titans are down to like cornerbacks 6, 8, and 9. So Titans need some outside guys that you can leave out there. You talk about the Texans game, giving up a 3rd and 16 for the game. 2nd and 33 with them backed up on their goal line the first time we played them when it was a 6-0 game in the fourth
Let me
quarter.
teach you how to
Talk about
vibe.
Devontae Adams dunking. Now Tay Adams is gonna dunk, but you need somebody that him and Sutton, JSN has a season high. Like every big name receivers had a season high when they play the Titans, because they pretty much get the roam free. Jacoby Myers wide open in the end zone. You seen it. Jerry Jeudy making people fall down. Made Darrell Baker damn near fall down Sunday on his bomb. So we need outside corners. We need a wide receiver that can beat man coverage. Elite wide receivers, elite cornerbacks. And then at edge, Arden Key's contract is up. Jahad Ward contract is up. Femi Oladejo will be back next year, our 2nd round pick out of UCLA, edge rusher. You got to put somebody on the edge. Harold Landry's on the Patriots. Bud Dupree's on the Chargers. You got to put some goons on the edge. You got T Sweat and Jeff Simmons in the middle, and those guys can move around. So you put some on the edge. You got something to work with. And I think they should bring Jahad Ward back. He's been really good. Free agent pickup, and Sebastian Joseph Day I think has been solid in rotation. Because we got C.J. Ravenel from the Ravens, and we got James Lynch, and those guys are rotational guys. Shy Tuttle from the Saints, Panthers, but we definitely got to add in some of those depth spots like that. So I'm going to say edge, cornerback, wide receiver. And honestly, I want wide receiver in the draft. I want cornerback, free agency and draft. And I want edge, draft, and free agency. However, they got to get the best player available. But you got to grow some young goons. That's a really good question too, Gas Man. Those are the 3 positions the Tennessee Titans have to focus on. Yeah, you got to be careful what you type in the Facebook chat, Christoph, because they got it's not people. There's AI drones that are picking up the things you're saying. So you got to learn on Facebook how to comment. You got to misspell words. Like if I said gun, I would say GUNN. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd do something like that. I wouldn't just. Because it's the AI picking up trigger words. Daniels would have went crazy, but Austin they traded Brian Robinson, and then they Austin Eckler hurt his Achilles. So you take your running back 1 and running back 2 off a team that's heavily dependent on run and RPO, and Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler are really good dual threat backs. Like Austin Eckler is a running back that could have 1,500 to 2,000 all-purpose yards in a season. and you take that out of there and put him where he has to run too much, that's kind of what set the Commanders back. Said we need JSN. No, we don't need JSN. We need to go in the draft and follow Shotbybuddha's rebuild. Check that YouTube video out. All right, y'all got any more questions in this? That's an hour in the mailbag, man. I'm answering the mailbag questions 2 times. I don't know if you've seen the post today. I came up with a new segment for the community. It's the mailbag, and I thought it was a cool addition to where, you know, sometimes people are at work and, you know, their YouTube videos go up every day at 8 a.m. on YouTube. Make sure y'all like and comment on those videos. Don't just be in the Discord arguing. If y'all have those Discord arguments on my YouTube videos, we gonna be up. But, you know, I thought this was a cool addition that people can ask their questions on these pictures of mailbag. I could actually screenshot them and put them on the screen and answer the questions, and then make a whole podcast out of the mailbag. It could be its own segment too. So that's what we on. Had some really good questions today. I've answered them all, but just the questions that was asked today, you know, Becker asked, what type of coach? She'd asked what would I have done different after the 22 season. Big Jeff asked what I would tell my younger self. Becker asked about head coach candidates. Rich asked about what moves can the Titans, what's the most important move for the Titans to make this off season when it comes to the front office. I think Becker asked another question though. So let's answer this question. He says, which do you think gives Cam a better chance to help him take that next step as the franchise QB, a bell cow running back who can give the ball 20 times to a game, or a true dominant wide receiver 1? I'm going to say the wide receiver 1 is more important. Now, they got Tony Pollard on contract through next year. If they cut him next year, it's only a $2 million hit. But they got Tony Pollard through next year. They got Tajay Spears contract years next year, last year of his rookie deal, which he was a top 100 draft pick from the Tennessee Titans. And Khalil Mullins, who we haven't seen because he's been injured all year, but he's back healthy the last 3 weeks. He's been on the 53-man roster. He's a 6'2", 225-pound bell cow running back out of Michigan. Now, Bergonzi and the Chiefs and Veach was always able to get those late-round running backs like Pacheco, bring in Kareem Hunt back. I would love to have Jeremiah Love. I would love to have a Breece Hall, but the way they ran the ball Sunday just let me know that it was all about attitude and committing to running. If they brought in a Breece Hall in the free agency, I would be happy. If they don't and they draft a late round running back to go into the rotation and come back with what they got, I would be cool. But you just got to commit to running it. You know, Tony Pollard had his career day running the ball Sunday. When a lot of people think he didn't have a lot in the tank, I don't think you can expect that out of Tony Pollard for a whole season. But you don't need that. You just got to commit to a strong run game. Most good teams got multiple running backs. Everybody don't got Saquon. Everybody, even the Niners who we about to play, have McCaffrey, and they still went and got Brian Robinson. Like the 49ers always have multiple running backs. Like, I think you got to have a good stable of backs and a strong running game, not necessarily a Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, it would be cool for the Titans to have that because we are running back you. Earl Campbell, Eddie George, Derrick Henry, Chris Johnson. You know, like, we've been that. And I think they'll get a chance to add something like that in. I just don't know if you went into the draft and said, I could take the best receiver off the board or Jeremiah Love. As much as I want to take Jeremiah Love, I take the best receiver because I could always get another supplemental back in the draft. Because even if they get a good running back, look at the Raiders, you got to commit to running it. Running is a coaching, running is attitude. You know, it's a want to. So I think if they did take a bell cow running back, I wouldn't be mad. But Cam Ward is a gunslinger. He needs somebody that can beat those zero blitzes. Teams are going to zero the Titans if the Titans can't beat it. And once they prove they can zero it, you start getting safeties back too high, and the running lanes will be open for any running back, whether it's Tajay Spears, whether it's Tony Pollard, Khalil Mullins, or anybody we draft. Like I like Raleek Brown and Robert Henry out of UTSA. I like Nick Singleton out of Penn State. It's a few running backs I like. So it's like, and I like Breece Hall in the free agency if they could get him. Because I think Breece Hall is a guy that can catch it, can run it. But that's my answer to that question. I would take the top receiver because you could get you could get a multitude of running backs to handle business. Look at the Bears.
Let me teach
they
you
got
how to
Swift
vibe.
and Kyle Monangai. Nobody knew who Monangai was except for So Amazing. You know, you look at the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson was a later pick for them. He wasn't a top pick. You know, you don't have to get the first round bell cow running back. You can get Javonte Williams on the Cowboys. You know, it's $2 million. So that's my answer to that question. Hope I answered your question correctly, Becker. Yeah, both are important, but if I had to take one right now for Cam Ward, he needs a number one guy. If you watch the highlights of how the Browns played us, when they zeroed, we got nobody that could just win a one and get open and dunk. We need somebody that can get open and dunk to where teams will stop that zero blitz and they'll say, we can't afford to get cooked on the outside like that. And that would open up the run lanes. Because, I mean, you look at Tony Pollard, you know, ran for 170 yards yesterday. And that's the first time the Titans outran their opponent in this season. You know, it's the biggest running output since Derrick Henry and look how long that's been. You're talking about going back 3 years before you had a day like that where you just beat a team up front running the football. So I think that's like, you know, mentality of the offensive line, the coaches to commit to it, and what it can open up in the pass game by being able to run. I don't think you got to have the best running back in the league, but it would be nice to have a superstar back in Nashville. But I think right now for where they roster is sitting at, you know, I could bring the roster up for the 5,000th time. Comedy 2 times gonna get mad if I do it. But if I show you the Tennessee Titans receiving core, you got to be saying, yeah, they need a number one. The Nun said, brother, Titans are trash. Hey, man, everybody clap it up for the Nun. He's letting us know that the worst team in the NFL last year is not good. Clap it up for him. Can they follow that game plan? I think it's going to be a different game plan. I don't think they ran that game plan for the Browns because Myles Garrett was trying to get the sack record. You had to neutral, like you can't drop back 40 times against Myles Garrett. You just can't. Like you're going to die. So you playing a Micah Parsons, a Myles Garrett, like your game plan got to be to neutralize them. The 49ers don't have Fred Warner. They don't have Nick Bosa. They got a lot of injuries on their defense. They're going to run a different type of defensive scheme. This is going to be a week where Cam Ward is going to have to make good decisions and work his way up the field and be a little bit more balanced. He's going to have to make good decisions passing the ball. As you see the 49ers, the clamp that they put on the Panteras and the clamps they put on the last few weeks, the 49ers and Robert Sala's been playing solid defense, just making people work. So Bo Hardegree and Nick Holz is not going to have to be too cute. They're going to have a balanced approach come Sunday. And Cam Ward, if he gets Jim DK open, he's got to hit him. And if he gets Van Jefferson open, Van Jefferson got to catch a touchdown pass. He can't drop it. I like to see you lose his legs a lot more. Nothing open downfield. He's definitely a QB. But like you think about the last 3 games, 2 of the last 3 games he led the Titans in rushing. I just think he was thinking consciously of like, I'm not trying to run around and like, get Myles Garrett out here. That would have been a bad situation. Because the Browns was running, had a lot of people at the line of scrimmage. I'm trying to help the nun out. It said the Titans fired the best coach in the NFL. So Mike Vrabel is a better coach than Andy Reid. McVay. Vrabel is a good coach. Vrabel left because him and the front office disagreed. He wanted more power in the front office. Should he have been given more power? Probably, but he didn't. Like, we're gonna continue to go back 3 years and talk about Vrabel forever, or are we gonna say like we're happy? True Titan fans are happy that Mike Vrabel's having success in New England. And you talking about Belichick? That was Gerard Mayo's team. Belichick had been gone for the Patriots for a few years. So you still talking about Tom Brady and Belichick in New England? You gotta get with the current situation. Like, what do you have to offer to this conversation? You gonna keep telling us like 2 or 3 years ago's history, or we gonna get something current? What are we gonna get current? Slick Bread, what up? You a Dolphin fan, Slick Bread? Slice Bread. Dolphins been turning around. I am kind of mad at the Dolphins. Y'all got Nick Westbrook-Akine, and I wanted Ollie Gordon. When we wind up getting Khalil Mullins, I wanted Ollie Gordon, and y'all got him. Devin Achane and Ollie Gordon is a nice combo. I think if the Dolphins like decide to play physical football and run the offense through Achane and Ollie Gordon, I think that's been the key to y'all success. And Minka Fitzpatrick, definitely a Bama boy back at Miami. He been cooking. It's crazy that the Dolphins is back in the playoff picture. Look at the Cowboys. The O-line blocks very well. Letting Javonte have his first 1,000 yard. That's what I'm saying. Like, look at Rico Dowdle. The Panthers paid Chuba Hubbard, and Rico Dowdle went there, and Rico Dowdle been the man. R.J. Harvey to the Broncos. Woody Marks on the Texans. You think about Joe Mixon being gone and Nick Chubb being there, but the running back to stop for the Texans is Woody Marks out of USC. Like, that's why I say like a bell cow running back would be good, but Woody Marks and Nick Chubb is getting the job done for them. You like to have Jonathan Taylor, but if you don't have Jonathan Taylor, like you could put a two-back system together, and then when you get a chance to swing on a superstar, you swing. I mean, even the Falcons got Bijan, but they got Algiers too. That the Seahawks got K9 and Charbonnet. Like, most good teams got more than one back. The Chiefs got Pacheco and Hunt. They said, why the person I put in here to come debate with you ran into Brian Callahan at the mall and told him he should have taken Shador and traded the first round pick with the Giants. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. 99% of Titan fans that said they didn't want Cam Ward wanted Abdul Carter. They're not like even dude that day. If you remember, all them was saying Abdul Carter. I'm the only person that was having a mock that had a trade back with Shador. People were saying I was delusional because I said, if you don't like Cam Ward or another team offer you a mother load like a Khalil Mack type of situation, or like Chip Kelly tried to offer us for Mariota the first time, if somebody offering you like 3 first-round picks and a player, you got to take it. Because our roster was that bad, not because I didn't want Cam. And I was like, if you trade back and you still get Shador, like it's a dub. I said, even if I took Jackson Dart or Milroe, I'd be cool. Because at the time, Will Levis hadn't had surgery. I don't know why people be trying to switch it up now like they would have taken Shador. I was one of the only people that was saying, like, I'm cool with Cam or Shador. People were saying, nah, I want Abdul Carter. People is not even on quarterback. I think RJ from the Titan fan base and myself was the only people I could think of publicly at the time saying we wanted Cam Ward and Shador. Either one at the one. Everybody else was Abdul Carter's generational. This guy's going to be better than Micah Parsons and Lawrence Taylor combined. He's going to be Reggie White. And he falling asleep in meetings. Dolphins, but you from Toronto, and you going from the ice, from an iceberg, the Titanic to the beach. What you think the Dolphins need to do this offseason, sliced bread? Judkins and Sampson. Yep. Tighten up, Stevie. Abdul been super quiet. He done got benched a couple times. You wanted Cam. I like Shadur. My thing was, it's very simple. And I said this, like, you can go back and look at my old content. I said, you get a week with Shadur at Senior Bowl. You get a week with Cam in private sessions. If you like either one of them at quarterback, pick a quarterback. Nobody's mad. If you don't like either one, if you ain't sold, trade out of the first pick. You're going to get a top player. If you were to trade it back, you was going to get a Travis Hunter. You was going to get an Abdul Carter, or you was going to get a shot at one of the quarterbacks that somebody didn't pick. Worst come to worst, if you trade it back far enough, you pick the defensive player and you got a shot at Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe in the second. That was my thought process from the gate, because people was dogging out this QB class, and I said, this QB class is going to be better than next year, because it was Drew Aller, Arch Manning, Lenora Sellers, Cade Klubnik. They was Carson Beck. Them was the guys they were saying wait on. Nico Yamiyava out of Tennessee. They were saying wait on these guys. And where are these guys now? We talking about Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, and Dante Moore. Those guys that they were saying wait on is not even coming. We not even thinking about them getting drafted, period. You see what I'm saying? Better defense. What position? What position? Remember, he wanted to be an Eagle. Not the corn list. Has Araku been doing better? But that's all I say is, like, just look at it objectively. And for the people that, like, all you gotta do is just do a bunch of mock drafts, do your team like I do, and just go over it. And it started to become obvious that, like, half the players that the Titans get, like, I mocked Chig to us. I mocked Gunnar Ham to us. Like, I didn't get Femi. I didn't guess on Femi. Like the Femi Kevin Winston thing, I was off on because that was a trade back, and everybody was thinking we was going after Luther Burden. I was thinking Ollie Gordon, and then we got Khalil Mullins. I was like, all right, that's the same player. Ollie Gordon's a little bit more dynamic, side to side, and Khalil Mullins a little bit more of a physical back because he's a former linebacker. I had A.O. Monner on my board, but not DK. That's the crazy part. Center. You talking about a nose tackle, defensive tackle? Because center, y'all got Aaron Brewer, Titan legend, probably gonna be a Pro Bowl. Y'all center came from Nashville. He's probably gonna be a Pro Bowler. Imagine letting a Pro Bowl center go to pay Cushenberry $50 million to have Corey Levin starting at center. Tennessee Titans is wild, bro. Tennessee Titans is wild. I think it's time Miami moves on from Tua. I mean, the Dolphins may make the playoffs. Like, the Dolphins is making a late push. They got the same record as the Chiefs. Who do the Dolphins play down the stretch? So you gotta think, like, sometimes teams figure it out and turn it around. Let me look. Let's pull the Dolphins up. Dolphins play at the Steelers, Bengals, Buccaneers, and at Patriots. I mean, if they win out and win these last 4 games, Dolphins can sneak in at 10-7. Dolphins can sneak in at 10-7 because the Patriots might not have nothing to play for their last game. They might be resting players. The Buccaneers is beat up. The Bengals is beat up. And the Steelers, this next game is pretty much their season. Steelers is a winnable game for the Dolphins. They said, what does my mock draft look like this year? On my YouTube page, I had a mock draft that I did, a full rebuild. It's like a 10-minute video of what I would do in free agency and in the draft, that's considering that like this video here talks about how the first round pick is, because the crazy part about it is it's strength of schedule. So the Tennessee Titans got the strongest strength of schedule, so they got the lowest. They got a 28% chance to get the first overall pick. But this is my rebuild video right here. If you go to this video right here, this is my whole rebuild of what I would do in free agency, what I would do with the draft. Let's see. I can pull it up. Let's see. I think I got that picture up here. Can't put Kush play. Nah, Kush is too. See, that's a problem. When Kush can't play guard, bro. Like he like you got Zietler in right now. I would groom Jackson Slater, Hans, or Moss, or draft. Like if you look at my latest mock, I had Pregnon from Oregon's got a really good interior guard. Penn State has got the highest rated that Hawaiian dude, but I like Oregon's guard. He's slated right now at like a 3rd round pick. If the Titans can get him, you know, but I mean, we took Jackson Slater in the 5th last year. Jackson Slater very well could be our right guard next year. But this is how my mock went. I had traded back out of 1. My first pick was Arvell Reese. I had Arvell Reese playing edge. Femi was coming back. My second pick, if y'all into Stranger Things, I got some Stranger Things content too. But my second pick was Caden Proctor. I took a tackle, and I got Linderbaum in free agency and Brees Hall. My second round picks was Denzel Boston, Chris Johnson out of San Diego State at cornerback. 3rd round picks is Chris Brazil, Dalen Everett out of Georgia. You see him get the pick in the SEC championship. And then down the stretch, my other pick was safety Michael Tabb from Texas. I think I had Tim Keenan. I had Raleek Brown, running back out of Arizona State. And then I had a tight end. I think I either had Cincinnati's tight end, Joe Royer. I either had Vanderbilt's tight end, Stowers, or it was Lawson Lucky out of Georgia. Like those was but you had to go check the video out. I'm gonna do another one because I think if you look at my video from yesterday, it gives a breakdown on who hold on, I can pull it up because I got the tweet on the percentage chances of who gets the 1st round pick. This is a year you could beat a team and still get the higher pick. In the past years, it wasn't like that, but this year it's going off a strength of schedule. So, you know, the Giants and the Commanders play each other this week, and they could swap on. The Giants would go to 3% if they win, and the Commanders would go to 10. The Saints play the Titans in week 17. They got an 8% chance. The Jets got a 6%. The Browns lost to the Titans but got a lower overall chance because of the way strength of schedules hit. But when the Titans play the 49ers, Chiefs, and Jaguars down the stretch, it could very well come down. The Raiders beat the Titans, but the Titans right now have a lower chance of getting number 1 than the Raiders. So like having this many teams, you know, having 7 teams have a chance at the number 1 pick. You kind of got to play around with doing some mocks where you get the 1, and then you got to play around with some mocks where you don't get the 1. And if you looked at my post on Facebook, if y'all don't see me live, like I'm always got football content for y'all to comment and engage on. These were some of the draft picks that the AI said. If the Titans had the 3rd pick, if they traded, the Ravens was giving up this, the Browns was giving up this, Cowboys was giving up this, Steelers was giving up this, the Jets was giving up that. You know, Ravens give you a lot this year. Cowboys give you a pretty good bit, having 2 first rounds and a second next year. But for my thoughts, trading back to the Jets, only losing 4 spots and getting the Jets 1st round pick next year, knowing the Jets ain't gonna be good next year, would be what I would shoot for, because you know that's the Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Cam Coleman, Amar Hardy. Gonna be a lot of goons coming out in that draft. You want to be able to move up if you need to. Now, I don't want a lottery. I like this. I like it going to strength of schedule because, like, the way they got it set now is you could lose. You could lose and not get the better pick because you got a higher strength of schedule. So, like, let's say the Titans lose to the Saints on purpose, but the Titans got a higher strength of schedule. The Saints would have been and beat us and got the pick. So it's like, just play the games out. Ain't the point of trying to lose on purpose because your strength of schedule is still going to determine what you get. Dolphins are going to move on from 2 if they want to do that contract. They got a lot coming from somebody who has a deal with Dak's contract. I don't think they got a recent out into his contract though. And then y'all know me. If you talk player, you gotta talk contract. If you're talking player, so we can pull to his contract up. Yeah, they don't get it out onto his contract until 2027. So they'll have to ride with Tua through next year. And they got Quinn Ewers, so they got another quarterback they can groom. But if they wait till the end of next season, they'll have to eat $34 million to get rid of him. So Tua is gonna be the quarterback next year, unless somebody's taking that trade. I don't see anybody taking on the trade or Tua. Yeah, Mike Bergonzi pulled DK out of a magic hat. Nobody understood that pick until they seen him play. Yeah, so I like to look at contracts too because it's cool to say, oh, do this and do that with a certain player, but you gotta look at their contracts too. And you look at the Titans roster, when free agency hit, whether they decide to re-sign Chig or not, Van Jefferson, Mason Kinsey, Prochet, Chestnut, Brandon Allen, Titan. That's why I say when you look at who's going to be under contract to answer Becker's question, you got Tony Pollard, Tajay, both got a year left, and then Khalil Mullins is a rookie. I think where you would go is you got to go with that number one receiver first because you don't have a true number one. And then on defense, Arden Key, Mousy, Truman Jones. Jalen Harrell has been playing better as of late. Xavier Woods got one more year. Kevin Winston is obviously you just extended Hook. So Shy Tuttle is done. Kerry Long, Darrell Baker, Michael Robinson got next year. I really would like to see them put Kerry Long in the mix. I mean, we know we're getting in Darrell Baker. I think Baker should be like corner 5. Michael Robinson is a special teamer. They got to see if that kid can go in the slot. But even with the guys you got to get some elite talent at this cornerback position because this is what they down to. And if you really follow the Titans, this is how they look Sunday. Sunday they look like this. They had to move Marcus Harris from out the nickel. After they traded Roger and they moved him there, they had to move him outside and had to take your starting free safety, your rookie Kevin Winston, and put Winston at nickelback and put Xavier Woods deep. And even though Xavier Woods got an interception, like having your young cornerback that's been playing nickel play outside, having your free safety play corner, it's just like nuts. Like they got to get some elite talent at defensive back to help the Tennessee Titans defense out, and they still been playing good, even playing handicap like that. They still been playing good, even being handicapped like that. Now, if y'all want to do a mock, we can do a mock, and I can kind of show y'all like how it looks if you don't trade back and they have their pick. Zay, what it do? But y'all let me know though, as I just been answering away on questions, answering question after question after question after question. I ain't even took a breather. If y'all want me to do a mock, I do a mock to kind of show y'all how the mocks go. And like I said, if you really into it, I'll probably do 100 or so mocks, and it just really give you a understanding of what they have to go through trying to build a draft board. It's not an easy thing. It's not as easy as some may think it is. So y'all let me know if y'all want to do a mock. I can go through a mock, and we can, I can try to show you my thought process when I'm drafting. And we do mocks just about every day on stream, because the AI constantly updates. The AI constantly updates the information. So like every week the odds change on what what players got what value on them based on the AI. 2 times say no more mocks. What you want? What you want to see? We can get into some we can get into the event. Tomorrow we're gonna do the watch party for the MCS tomorrow. We're gonna do an MCS watch party. We ain't did one of those in a minute. So I should do a watch party for the MCS tournament tomorrow. I think that comes on at like 5:30 or 6. I try to go on early and do a watch party for that. So it probably won't be a shop talk tomorrow. Probably just be straight into watch party mode. 2 times I ain't done with mocks. Why you don't like the mocks 2 times? Hey, listen, man. When your team is down bad like me, you need to be looking at mocks. You need to be looking at future players. It's the only way the Giants get good and the Titans get good is through the draft. That's the only way. That's how you know if your GM is letting Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles or not. That's how you know. All right. 2 times don't want no mocks.
It's an old adage, but it's a true adage. Speed kills. And gosh, I love that, Kate. Right from the jump, you don't wait to get your playmaker started. Get him the ball early and put a fear of God into this defense.
All right, struggled a little bit that time. Change up your strategy and try it again. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Allen. Nice game left side. Into the red zone.
some good old-fashioned playground football. Even at the elementary school, find the fastest kid and let him
If the
run.
draft took place today, the Giants would pick first, Raiders second, Titans third, Browns fourth, Saints fifth, followed by the Commanders, Jets, and Cardinals. So 2 times. You laughing about your mocks. Giants beat the Commanders. Commanders gonna jump up there, and it's gonna be the Raiders and Titans at the top, and the Browns. Keep on talking. Mess around and the Giants #1 pick basically come down to this week. If y'all beat the Commanders got a better shot at a pick. Y'all dropping down for sure. Y'all lose to the Commanders, y'all might be a shoe-in for the first pick. Say y'all gonna lose. I mean, Jaden Daniels ain't playing, and you never know. Jameis Winston might go out there and make it shake, bro. Like, you can't tell me you're gonna be able to tell Jameis Winston not to go out there and make it shake. Jameis Winston might go out there and make it happen, bro.
From the gun here. Lofts it deep right side.
Jameis Winston might make it shake.
Inside the 20. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans finish off their opening drive. Cooper Kupp the touchdown.
There are a couple different ways now. You can win on a fly.
You know, I go look at them schedules and see.
Use that big body.
All right, let's see who else is up there. Y'all play the Commanders. Who the Saints, Raiders, and Browns play this week? Let me see. Saints play the Buccaneers. No, that's this past week. Hold up. Saints play the Panthers in New Orleans. The Raiders play the Eagles. That's a loss. And the Browns play at the Bears. All right, look. Best case scenario is Browns beat the Bears. I just don't see the Raiders beating the Eagles. I don't. And let's say the Saints beat the Panthers. Perfect. I need a world where even if we beat the Saints and lose to the 49ers, Chiefs, and Jaguars, we still get the top pick. Like, that could happen. That could happen. Let's see. And then the next week, the Bills play the Browns. That's a loss for the Browns. We play the Chiefs. That's a loss. The Saints play the Jets. Ooh. I need the Saints to beat the Jets in New Orleans. Texans play the Raiders. Raiders not beating the Texans. We can hang that up. Then the Saints come to Nashville. I want to beat the Saints. I'm sorry. First round pick sounds cool, but I want to beat the Saints. I'm sorry. And then flex games. Raiders play the Giants. That game is going to have a lot to do with the first round pick. Giants and Raiders, one of y'all got to win. Best case scenario, Giants beat the Commanders this week, but lose to the Raiders that week. Jeffrey Simmons say stack. That's what I'm saying. Like we could beat the Saints. We could beat the Saints. I'm cool with beating the Saints. But we got the 49ers and the Chiefs very hungry the next couple of weeks. Then the last game of the season, Saints play at Atlanta. The Jets play at Buffalo. Browns play at Cincinnati. Chiefs play the Raiders. That's a loss for their last game of the season. NFL ain't gonna let that happen. Dallas play New York at New York the last game of the season. Washington go to Philadelphia. They're losing that game. Titans play at Jacksonville. They could tie and turn everything into chaos. That's what I want. I want the Tennessee Titans to beat the Saints. Cause that'd be cool if Cam Ward get to beat Shador and beat Tyler Shuck and still get the first pick. That would be like right. That would be perfect, right? That would be perfect, right? I mean, I'm thinking long term here, Jeff. I'm thinking long term here. Beat teams you don't like.
Now, 1st and 10.
Get the first pick. Cam Ward get a look. Cause like if Cam threw for like, let's say Cam throw for like 200-300 on the Niners, 200-300 on the Chiefs, and go crazy. Go crazy on the Saints, and then go crazy on the Jags, but lose them 3 games.
Take a 6-0 lead right away. So one snap.
But I ain't gonna lie, ruining the Jag season, Niners season, or the Chiefs season would be up there above getting the first pick. I will have to say that. If the Titans could ruin the Jags, 49ers, or the Chiefs season, that's better than the first pick. Some people would disagree with me, but I'm saying like that might be better. TJ, what up? Like you need air?
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Yeah, I mean Cam Ward played good against good defenses. I mean, to be realistic, he played good
Let me
Sunday.
teach
He
you how
just
to
missed that
vibe.
pass to Chim DK. If he hit Chim DK on that pass and Van Jefferson don't drop, Cam has 4 touchdowns Sunday. Because they was wide open. He overthrew Chim DK, and even though he had pressure in his face, he overthrew him. If he catch that pass, it's a touchdown. And then Van Jefferson, if he catch his, it's a touchdown. So you're talking about like 2 60-yard bombs. Add 120 yards to what Cam Ward had and 4 touchdowns. It's a whole different day. Beat the Niners, the NCUS into chaos. See, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes getting a win, like ending the Jaguar season and knocking them out, and like the Texans or the Colts going in instead of them. Oh my God, bro! Like that would. You can't tell me that's not worth giving up a 1st round pick over. It is. Argue with your mama. Oh yeah, that was a touchdown from Likely. Y'all cheated. That was a touchdown. That was a touchdown. Because he was like on his 3rd or 4th step, and then the ball was knocked out. Like you in the end zone. Like you ain't got to do all that in the end zone, bro. Just catch the ball 2 feet down. If somebody, you can't, like basically what they said is he fumbled the ball in the end zone. Like he didn't fumble the ball. Like that was kind of crazy. Like I thought them saying that wasn't a touchdown was kind of wild. He said Tia Robitussin on the good tuss. On the good tuss and lean. Yeah, true. It's like you don't even want it to come down to a play like that. You need to just think about the Ravens' whole season from week one, several weeks where like the Ravens just kind of like blew games down the stretch. Where it's like those situations shouldn't even be in the referee's hands. Y'all should have had the game cooked up. You know what I'm saying? I know it's easy to say that, but true, that's a true thing. Sometimes you can't let it come down to those situations. Yep. It's hard for the fan base to see this sometimes, TJ, but it's like you got to just put people away when you can. You don't put people away, they come back and hurt you. Oh yeah, Shaw. That was cool. You know, Shaw is in the wheelchair, and for them to honor him with that block punt is kind of cool. Check out Statman. And Statman, drop your sticker, man. If you want to watch it on Kick, drop the Statman sticker, man. Statman come with some. You know, sometimes Statman's news be depressing, but we need to see. We need to see what's going on in the world. That's a great stat. You get Statman some love right there. Like, Derrick Henry fumbled in that Bills game to open up, but y'all should have got Josh Allen off the field.
Mike, how often do we have coaches tell us the importance of playing with the lead?
Yep. Hey, Becker, that might be my next that might be my next thing. Like, at the end of the season, you can knock the Jaguars out the playoffs or get the number one pick. Which one do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's quite spicy. I'm trying to spam this thing so I could get this 90 overall token so I can juice up Matabuke before I start back on this event, because I need to get this Donald Parham Jr. I need this Donald Parham Jr. like I need air. Even though I don't really need him. Parhimity, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Parhimity is one of the greatest Madden cards in the history of Madden. Ultimate Team.
Terrific way, Greg, to get this game started. Able to get the opening touchdown and do it with a long run.
Mike, anytime you can create explosive plays in the run game, you're definitely going to take it. And they're going to be able to build on those plays as the rest of this game moves along.
Has everybody caught up on Stranger Things? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't be wanting to ruin it if y'all ain't watched it, but as you know. As you know. I don't mind it. Yeah, we lost out on Eli Manning, but ended up with Larry Fitzgerald. See what I'm saying? Like people got to remember when the Titans traded out their last time, we got Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be so caught up on certain things, but it's like, you know, the year when we got Jeffrey Simmons, we picked 19th. I think a lot of people missed it. Jeffrey Simmons said it in one of the post games. He was like, whether you the first pick of the 19th, he was speaking to himself. We picked Jeffrey Simmons 19th, and in the second round we had AJ Brown. Then Nate Davis, Amani Hooker, David Long. So Titans got, you know, best D tackle in the NFL, 19th pick, top 10 receiver in the second round. You still ain't watched the first episode? KT2, I'm disappointed.
On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think
KT, how you feel today, man? There's a few people that seem like a little sour about the mailbag, man. Yeah, I was watching that Mr. Football. I thought some people won some of them awards and like, man, it'd be a dude with like 2,700 passing yards, 1,000 rushing, and he don't win the award. Like, wait a minute. The other dude had like 2,200 all-purpose yards, bro. Like, what are we doing? Dude got 4,000 yards. Like, what, maybe I missed something. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of them Mr. Footballs, I was like, maybe I missed something. I must have seen the wrong thing. I must not been looking at the right thing. Easy 2-time with the follow on YouTube. What up? You already finished it, Kicks Weird. What you thought about it? I mean, it's like they took the series a little bit different. It's kind of weird because like all of them old now. But that boy Vecna cold, man. But I mean, now you know that it's something behind Vecna. It ain't even all cuz, you know what I'm saying? Like even Vecna kind of is a victim, so to speak. It's crazy that like all the American movies over the years, all the cult movies that we watch, like not American but popular movies, every villain started off as like a person that was done wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you think about Darth Vader, like he was a slave. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a slave that when he got his power and when he got his power and got his opportunity, it's really like Darth Vader wasn't even really a bad guy. It's just like, bro, I was a slave. They didn't mess around, let me get the juice. It's up for y'all now, man. I ain't got no sympathy for nobody. You know what I'm saying? You can tell they're older, but the action part says heat, yeah. Only good part of the new season was like the last 10 minutes. The whole season was good. Why what you ain't like about it? We got one of those, man. Sean, one of those hard to please, man. Sean, one of them hard to please. Yeah, every villain is a hero in their story. Like Vecna just wanted his girlfriend, man. They ain't want him to have his little black girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? They was picking on him. You know, yeah. Hey, listen, man. What's crazy is like that Vecna went to school with Hopper and all, and Joyce and all them. That's what's crazy. Ocho. I think not using Sadie Sink's character Max to infiltrate the group was a huge miss. But I mean, they had to set the stage because like you got to tie Max to Holly Weaver. So it's like, it made sense the way they did it. So like Max and like the whole story of Holly Weaver and the trap and how they took Holly and the other kids that they was protecting, all of that tie back into Max. Like I think they did it a good way as creative. Like it's one of the things that I wasn't expecting in the show. Nah, see, hey, Sean, one of them just difficult movie critics. He the grumpy uncle, man. The pound cake ain't pound enough. The beer ain't cold enough. The dogs ain't barking hard enough. The fish is drowning in the water, man. I didn't think it was slow. I think they was like building up the characters, like for you to get to see some backstory. That's what I thought. Like I felt like it was explaining like the connection to Will, his connection to the hive mind. Like I think like kind of understanding that that Henry knew Hop. Yeah, you get to see a little bit of Hop's story. I thought last season with like Hopper being in damn Russia and all that shit was kind of lost me. This season didn't lose me. I thought that season when them being in Russia and shit was the part that threw me off. Like Hawkins being in quarantine, I thought it was like, I thought they took some cool effects because like the rest of the world don't know what's going on in Hawkins. Like I thought some of that stuff was cool. How was the new season of The Witcher? I understand why Henry Cavill left. Like I ain't being funny. Like Shotbybuddha is not homophobic. Like I could care less about any of that stuff, right? But every story can't be like we ain't gonna go away from Henry Cavill and Siri after the situation to now Siri got a girlfriend and that's like the rats is like the major part of the story. Like, all right, come on, bro. Like, Siri having a girlfriend can't be the whole new season, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, come on. It didn't hit. I actually like this season. I think they set themselves up to take the story a lot of different ways. Oh, about that. I mean, it's like the Witcher's last season kind of reminded me of like The Last of Us. When Joel died and the old girl gonna become a dad and all that shit, I just was like, all right, bro. Like y'all will ruin every good TV show to do that shit. Like at some point, man, like can we just let the show be the show? Damn, bro. I bumped this bitch. The dialogue was kind of lacking. This ain't Juvenile. Not really. I mean, you gotta think like my man's was trying to get married. You know, like my wife didn't like Robin having such a big part of this season, but like I don't mind Robin as a character. You kind of need people like Robin in the season. My wife disagreed, but I think you need Robin's. I think you kind of need Robin type of characters. Be it. Every time I say Siri. Hey, Becker might be the feds, y'all. How he got my voice in his phone? Your Siri only supposed to pick up your voice. Let me find out Becker the feds. I'm sad now. Becker the feds. Becker is the feds, man. How his phone got my voice in it, man. Yo, regional. Reggie, what up, my boy? How everything being, man? How the babies, how the kids doing, bro? Man, we been cooling, bro. We been cooling. Catch him slipping one time in the turning lane. Man, my little one just turned 4. Time move by, boy. You been in the black. I need to get on it. I downloaded it, but I ain't played it yet. He said I'm in the shop enough to where Siri recognize your voice more than mine.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
That boy Cam a little disgruntled. Bringing back the sister to 11. Yeah, bringing back 8. Yeah, that was cool. See, I think they widening the story up for these next episodes to really tell the story, like how did Henry become Vecna, like what really happened when Henry, like if you seen like the play stuff, you understand Vecna's connection to Joyce and Audium and Hopper. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these different things, the nuances in the show. You kind of have a different feeling about it. Time is flying, boy. See, I think they widened it up to just tell the broader story of like what the mind flare is, like how the hive mind work. I thought it was cool, like that Will was learning to use his power in the hive mind and the weakness of Vecna. I think like this season has been like showing the weakness of Vecna. You know what I'm saying? Like how the hive mind work. You know what I'm saying? Like how it's all controlled. I think the biggest confusion right now in the story is like, what is the wall? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that damn wall? Good cat. Watch you, like, because if you seen the play stuff, that cave is where the mind flare. A Russian spy stole the military's shit from the Philadelphia experiment. If you into conspiracy theories, the Philadelphia experiment is supposed to be where they tried to make a ship disappear and everybody died on it. The story is the ship go to another dimension in some substance, kind of like the shit from Alien. You remember the black goo got on Prometheus, the black goo that turned the aliens out? Well, apparently that same type of substance came from another dimension, and Henry found it in that cave. Vecna found the shit in the cave. So apparently when Vecna found the shit in the cave, that's when the shit entered him and got him all fucked up. So that's why I feel like this season is about the weakness of Vecna, of who is he, what is, let's go. Who is he? What is this mind flare? What is this otherworldly entity that's taking over and controlling them and using them as vessels? You know, is Henry really a victim? Vecna really a victim controlled by this other substance? Like, what is he building inside that wall? What is the wall? How is he using these kids to open these portals? Like, what's his true plan? I think all this will be revealed. You know what I'm saying? is this just in somebody's mind somewhere? Is this a real thing? Like the connection to A Wrinkle in Time to everybody in the story, because that book is kind of like the story of Stranger Things. I guess it's a lot of shit. It could be. I mean, but that would follow if Will became the new entity, the new vessel. Like, let's say the mind flare was done with Henry, done with Vecna, and made Will the new Vecna. It would follow that, like, the entity is in control, not Vecna, and this darkness. If you kind of like Venom or Darth Vader, like if you choose to use the power within this thing, like you can't control it. Don't drop the ball like Game of Thrones. I mean, it's a lot of great shows. I mean, you're never gonna be happy how Walking Dead end. You're never gonna be happy how Lost end. You're never gonna be happy how Breaking Bad, like The Wire. No great show you like The Soprano, like Power. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like every great show kind of is lackluster to the end, to the person that's a true fan. You always feel like they could have took the story somewhere else. Breaking Bad was good start to finish. I mean, you could question like the damn car having a trick that make a gun pop out and shoot everybody at the end was kind of goofy. Sons of Anarchy. Hell no. Bush Hill, stay out the west side. Jesse Pinkman. Damn, I missed the tackle. What the? All right, here we go. Goofiness ensues. He said human joystick. Yeah, it's goofy. Human joystick is goofy. Oh my God, come on, dude. He said, wait till you play a 98 speed Odell quarterback. Don't worry. Turn the game off. Do a mock draft. I know 2 times it's like, damn, man, why you always doing them mock drafts? Shit. It don't take long, bro. Once one of these goofy ass cars started doing too much. Thank you, Herb. One of these goofy ass cars started doing too much. I'm good. Bro, there's no way Tebow just ran down Herb Adderley. That's the game if Adderley scored. Like, how does Tebow faster than Herb Adderley, bro? I mean, am I wrong, Jeff? How does Tebow slow down catch Adderley, bro? How? Tim Tebow cannot be faster than Herb Adderley.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Ocho. 97 speed. Tebow is faster than run down. Oh my God, bro! I just missed. On a speed out though, you pick six a speed out, bro. You're not supposed to get caught. Bro is like three people in double Mabel, bro. I thought he was gonna throw me one right there. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, I got the backside dig. It's mine. I got the backside dig. It's mine. We double Mabel. I got the backside dig. It's mine. Come on. Yes. It's got to be a pig. Come on, man. Boy.
Blue striker, green jack, ready.
Yes, sir. Give me that.
Just intercepted the pass. Wow! Look what I found, Mom!
Come on, man. Boy up down here. Official towered up. Coach said in the building. Cam was always first, Janice. Oh my goodness, hold the block. Hold the block and we out of there. Wow. Oh my goodness, throw the ball. Oh, he did. He's screaming over there now. Even to turn their headset on and cuss me out. Okay, leaving. Yeah, that Drake London is a corner. Oh my goodness, chat. Ugh. It's the snow though. You gotta expect that kicks wheel is gonna happen. He said get the 75-yard touchdown. Yeah. About time you use the sticker, Cam. About time you use the kick. About time you use the sticker, Cam.
on, set. Big rail, blue striker. Ready.
He said it's tainted. Wow.
At the 35-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. Blaster, yellow, 22. Slice blue. Spike, white. Green jack. Smash, red. Claws, red. Cut.
Tito's pass, intended for Brock Bowers, incomplete. Brings up a third down.
Ready,
And 10
Tito
yards
blue.
to go.
Black, 95. Drill green. Red, cycle. Black shot. Six, ready? Cheetah. And cycle.
And the Browns first down. First and 10 at the 35-yard
52.
line.
Striker, 3-3. Blue, steel, black. Watch out now, 50 Fury. Go, yellow, red, yellow. Blue striker. Fury, yellow. Black ultra, ready.
Shotbybuddha Facebook gaming in the building.
Jesse Bates. Conductor Dash and Deadeye. I forgot what I got on mine.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Some sick people out here. 3 accused of beating a man to death while robbing him. You already robbing him. What's the purpose of beating him to death? People are crazy, bro. People are crazy. Like, what else do you need to do to somebody if you're robbing him and beat him to death? People are just ruthless out there these days. And I ain't seen the Diddy thing yet. It's like I don't want to watch it while my kids is up. Might have to creep in there tonight, and the kids go to sleep, and me and the old lady get to check it out. Tavon. Also, no. Yeah, I just ran that wheel route in my my Eddie George just dropped it. You're right. Probably Tavon Austin probably would catch it. Pause. Wait a minute. He already got Parham. Why is he even playing?
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Wow. Hey man, doesn't even matter if the deep zone is lighting up. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, chat. Your stuff can light up. It don't even matter. Stuff lighting up. It don't even matter, huh? Stuff lighting up. It don't even matter. Watch that shit. Watch that shit. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Watch that shit. What's wrong with him?
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Ah, Josh.
Josh Allen sacked. A loss of a yard. 3 and out.
Ah, get in there. We needed a long touchdown pass, not the short one. And I need a long touchdown pass right there. Come on, Gunner. Gunner, you got to get in for me, Gunner. No, do not let this nigga score. Oh, no. Pick it up and score.
Touchdown!
Oh, somebody clip that.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
My points. We take those. We take those. Oh, no. No. Definitely not trying to give up the long rushing touchdown. That's not what we're looking for. We're not trying to give up the long rushing touchdown. It's 2 big points. Running up that hill, running up that mountain. No, I can't turn like I would in a normal time. Snow messed me up. I get it, man. You run the tackle made by Jesse Bates. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1. No. 4th, burn your time out. Will Anderson on the tackle. A gain of 1. It's 4th down and less than a yard.
56. Half 10. Alert!
Damn. Has Zadarius Smith on Ocho. Is he gonna go for 2?
The Bills are lining up for a 2-point conversion.
Thank you. GG's.
Just intercepted the pass. Wow! Look what I found, Bob.
Robert Spillane, Titan legend.
Into the end zone! Five Nation, stand up!
Shotbybuddha Facebook gaming in the building.
We taking knees. This is victory formation. GG's. Get a bow up in the end zone, man. That's how you bow up in the end zone. That's how you bow up. GG's in the chat. I gotta take some more medicine. I gotta take some more medicine. Barbershop Lows, what it do? You see, we got the new we got the mailbag now, Lows. So I opened up the mailbag today and we did like 5 questions or something. So it'll go up at 8 a.m. like the rest of the stuff. It'll go up at 8 a.m. Some good questions today on the mailbag. Not even mad. I think it's a successful first day. We just got to see how I'm gonna turn it into each question. All right, it's time for me to take my medicine. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I appreciate y'all being here. 8 a.m. in the morning. Shop Talk goes up. If you haven't got a chance to check it out, go back and check them out. We got a mailbag on the Facebook page. So now y'all can drop y'all comments and then I could go back and answer them live and put voted videos up to it. I'll be back in like 30 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds. I got to take my medicine for the night. And I'll be back on Kick and Twitch and we can watch game film, game highlights, listen to music, do a lot more. We watched the Cam Ward documentary other night. So there's more we can do when we go to late night stream. Appreciate y'all being tapped in on Facebook and YouTube. We're definitely any questions, Los, let me show you before I get off so you can have an understanding of what I mean. And this for anybody that missed the first part, probably like the first 2 hours we spent on this. Because it's something I want to do. I want to change the name. Y'all know me. I don't like being like mailbag. Everybody has a mailbag, but you know, I would rather it be something different. But you know, we did this, and people put their questions in there. I screenshot them, answering. I'll make a thumbnail with all the screenshots from the questions people are asking. You know, we'll go into it like that, and then you know they'll just like the rest of my YouTube stuff. It'll be 8 a.m. So if y'all do get a chance to check out the YouTube videos, make sure y'all like and comment. We've been getting good traction on all the videos. The numbers been going up. The channel been growing. See, it went up, 10, 20 people in the last 24 hours. So then we had 2 followers while we've been live on YouTube. We got 2 follows. That's pretty good. So, especially from short form video. So give me 30 seconds to take my medicine, use the bathroom, get right. And then we'll be in for the late night stream on Kick and Twitch. We'll reset. And God first in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Shotbybuddha on Kick. Shotbybuddha FB on Twitch. I prefer it. You watch it on Kick. You get no ads, up to 50 emotes you can use in the channel for free. And you get a new picture in picture.